What up, YouTube? It's me, Isaac, coming to you with another edition of my life. So, y'all know that there are multiple types of musicians: guitarists, pianists, trumpeters, you name it. Well, y'all have seen that I'm a huge guitarist, and, well, actually, I can't believe I really need to change my strings, and here's how you can tell. They're all oxidized. Well, I don't know if you can tell that through the screen, but I can tell you it is a pretty interesting oxidization of strings is actually a pretty uh interesting smell. It smells like garlic and what have you. And I've been practicing on the same strings for, God, I don't know how long it's been since my brother's changed them. But, which is how I know that by now they're oxidizing. And it's really funny to me that there are two types of I went over the types of musicians I know: guitarists, trumpeters, pianist, and what have you. But for guitarists, there are two types of guitarists. And I'm not just talking electric or acoustic. I'm talking guitarists who play just a couple of and then change their strings immediately, which, if you ask me, that's probably pretty damn stupid to do that sort of crap with, because why would you only play X amount of times without and then change your strings? And then there's guitarists like me who play until their fingers look like this, and, well, you saw what the strings look like. And yeah, so I'm one of the every musician has to be dedicated to whatever they play. And I think by my fingers looking the way they do proves I'm dedicated to playing as hard as my uncle did. And my uncle does. Well, one uncle did, one uncle does. You know what I mean. And that uncle knows who he is. And yeah. So I'm real. If I get I know I asked my mom to order me strings. I don't know if I'm getting them for Christmas or not. But if I'm getting them for Christmas, I really, really, really hope my brother puts them on soon. Because, as you can tell, well, you see what using dull strings will do. I really should stop, but I'm too passionate of a musician to stop, and plus, I'm way too stubborn as it is to stop, even though I know I need to. Although I do have my project guitar and my Fender that are both in my closet right now. But for me, I bought the Fender because I wanted a Fender as a display piece. And my project guitar is not playable either because, like I said, her strings are oxidizing too. But then again, my sister found my project guitar in a dumpster, which thank God my uncles weren't around to see that, because if they were, they are some of they are passionate musicians who hate to see any instruments get thrown out. I know my uncles would have been mad to see a guitar thrown out. I would have been mad if I had actually seen that myself, which actually just makes me smile knowing how passionate of a guitarist I am. My what I showed you earlier is actually proof of that. How how used my strings are, which is really cool, and well, not cool because, well, you see, which, yeah, I really need to stop using that guitar for now until I change the strings. But I'm too passionate of a guitarist to stop. I'm one of I'm one of those guitarists that will play after the strings start oxidizing, which I just showed y'all a couple of minutes ago, that my guitar strings are oxidizing. But I am also one of those guitarists who will play until the last string snaps. I really hope I get new strings before that, but actually, if I get new strings, and I'll be getting new strings one way or the other because I sent my mom a Amazon link. I don't know if I'm getting them for Christmas or before or after that, but I know I've got new strings coming. The one thing I don't know about, which I am hoping to get for Christmas or just outright, is the Digimon EX10 trading card box that I had sent my mom the Amazon link for, which is really cool. That is actually the set of the Digimon cards that has the latter half of Digimon. So Digimon, y'all have seen it before. The first arc is what I consider the training arc, and that's when they go up against the rookies and the ultimates and all that stuff before they take down before they take down Devimon, who, if you know how that battle ends, you know what happens to Angelmon, which really sucks. I will not say it because I'm already just starting to tear up thinking about it. It is a great episode, but the end is heart-wrenching, which, if you know, you know. And then it goes into the finding the 8th Digidestin after Ty goes back home for, like, I think it was one, maybe 2 episodes. He was back in the real world. And then it goes into, like I said, finding the 8th Digidestin and the Myota fights, which, if you know, you know. And then it goes into my favorite arc. Well, actually, my favorite arc was actually all of Digimon Adventure 1 was my favorite arc completely. But my favorite arc of Digimon Adventure 1 was the latter half, or as I call it, the Dark Masters arc. And I'm pretty sure that's actually what it's called anyway, to begin with. And one of my favorite Dark Masters, actually all of them are good. I've used everyone, including a Pokemon, in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Hoping when I get a Switch 2, hopefully sometime next year. Here's hoping, or for Christmas. I highly doubt I'll get it for Christmas. But the first game I want to get with my first Switch 2, and actually it's the only game released out right now that I actually want, is Digimon Story Time Stranger. But I have heard you can play Switch 1 games on Switch 2, and I got a lot of them that I love playing. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Shield and Sword are great games, although they were a little easy once you got the feel for the controls, and they weren't as sticky, so to speak. Like you weren't running into trees and stuff. And I really hope that they remake Tony Hawk's Underground and Underground 2 for Switch 2. Although I think that might just be Xbox or PlayStation, which means I'll probably need to get a PS5 for that. Which I would actually not mind getting a PS5 either, because Digimon Storytime Stranger is also on that. And I don't know if it supports players transfers like Digimon for the Digimon for PS4 and PS Vita. You used to be able to swap you used to be able to transfer your Digimon from one version of the game to the next. I'm not sure if you can do that cross console or not. I hope you can, because if you can, then plus, actually, let me see. Oh, it's sitting right here. Speaking of my favorite Digimon, and who I always use on any of my teams, which is why I know what Digimon I am picking as my starter on any playthrough of Time Stranger or Time Stranger New Game Plus. I'm going with Patamon for my first playthrough. As you can tell, I'm a huge Patamon fan. Hey, why are you... That's better. Funny. But yeah, I usually do get Patamon early on in any Digimon game I play that I can get Patamon in. I will get him as fast as I can, and he's my mainstay as he's my mainstay, or any of his other forms, because you need to digivolve and de-digivolve, and then re-digivolve, and then de-digivolve to get their ability points up. Or you could just, at least in a story Cyber Sleuth, that's how you did it. I can't remember how you... I actually think it might have been the same way with Blue Moon. Actually, wait, that was a Mega Man game. I think it was the same way for all Digimon story games. Dawn and Dusk are two of the Digimon games that I absolutely loved playing when on DS. The Kart Racer for PS2 was okay, but it wasn't... I'm not that big fan of kart racing games unless we're talking Mario Kart and all that stuff. But yeah, this is just been another episode of my life. I'm your host, Isaac Brummett. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I know I sure as shit will. Peace out, y'all.